Hi there. Today we're going to talk about the next step in our mandala, which is going to be color. But before we do that, I'd like to just review what we've done so far. We have designed a slice of our mandala using a closely observed photograph of a fish, and also other sea creatures or details related to underwater to fill in the spaces around our fish. After we designed that slice, we transferred the design onto our final piece of paper. And I'd like to talk a little bit more in depth about this word transfer, because you will be needing to know that word and you'll be needing to use it in the future when we discuss this process. So transfer, some of you have heard me mention other words that are related to transfer, such as transport, transition, translate, transform. And the reason I associate these words together is because this whole concept of transferring is very difficult to understand. As you saw, you really probably didn't understand it very well until you tried it yourself. And then you realized, oh, I get it. Okay, but then it was still really difficult to explain to other people how it works. So I like to just go back to the prefix of transfer, which is trans. Trans literally means to carry over. So we are carrying over the design on the front of our design from the graphite onto the paper. The graphite carries over to the paper when we press with our pencil. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that word. So after you've transferred and after you've gone over it with a Sharpie, you want to remove all your pencil lines by using an eraser. Do the best you can and just get rid of all those pencil lines. And the next thing you're going to want to do is select a group of colors that you're going to use in your design. Now, we've talked about why artists use colors. One is to make a statement, the other is to create mood, and another is to grab your attention. Okay, so for our mandala, we're going to use color to create a mood. And to do that, we're going to use a limited color palette. Okay, what that means is a limited selection of colors that will create a mood in your work of art. So let me just show you examples. So this is, hold on, an example of an artist who has, here, and you probably know all these color harmonies already, but these are warm colors, and you can see off to the side how the artist has actually put little samples or swatches of the colors they use. There's only 5 here for each. Warm, cool, analogous, monochromatic, analogous, analogous again, complementary. This is probably complementary. So you can obviously get so many different kinds of moods with just 5 colors. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to select 5 colors, and we're going to, obviously we have a fish already that has lots of colors in it. So I'm going to show you, well, before we go on to that, I'd like to show you examples of hold on here, of how an actual artist might use a color harmony. So here's a sunset, and here are the colors that have been kind of extracted from that. The major colors, that's the color palette that the artist has used. Saw that? Okay, and we have like a kind of a pink and a green. It creates a very soft mood. This one is a more vibrant mood, sort of a calm mood. So this is kind of what an interior designer would use to design these colors which you would use to design a living room. Here's just a bunch of different pieces of furniture. And here's another one. So I'm going to show you a interactive website that you can use to select your colors. I'm going to remove this. Okay, it's called Canva.com. And what you do is you just upload, you go to Canva.com, upload an image. And then I'm going to go to my photo library and I'm going to look at all photos. And I have a few pictures of my fish here. So let's just look at this one. So it gives me a color palette based on what it's seeing in this photograph. So I actually use a couple different pictures of this fish because obviously not all photographs are going to get the same results. So these were the results I got with 3 different photographs. That one, this one, and this one. And I really like this one. I think I will choose this one. And you can tweak the colors if you want, but the idea is you don't want every color in the rainbow because that won't create any specific kind of mood. So this is just a kind of a cool tool. You can use it or not, but limit your colors to 5. Okay? Now I don't have a finished example of my mandala yet to show you with the limited color palette, but I can prepare that for you next time. In the meantime, I do want to show you what a palette is. You might have come across this term palette in your applications when you're choosing colors. This is my palette that I use for oil paints, and it's just a flat surface. Sometimes you see a rounded one with a hole that an artist actually holds with their hand. This happens to be glass. It's the one I use in my studio, and I put my colors here. You can see on the back better how I arrange the colors so it goes from warm to cool. And I put the colors here and then I mix them in this area here, and that's my color palette. I shouldn't say color palette, that's my palette, literally. Alright, so don't forget to press hard to get dense color in your mandala, and think about contrast, which parts you want to be lighter compared to darker, so you get some dark against light areas or light against dark. And think about, well, that's all I'm going to say for now. So enjoy. Bye-bye.